the hashtag HCS. It's going to be a killer series, guys. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys at home are also looking forward to it. Harry, any person in particular that not only want to start with things off with, but you want to keep an eye on during this specific match?
It's actually this man. Observer mode's done very well in picking this particular player, and because at the moment he's actually 4th in the league for kills per game. He has around 13. I think I rounded that stat up actually, but 13 kills a game from Xer. 4th in the league with top slayers from teams such as Supremacy, teams such as Infused and Invictus as well. So yeah, very impressive kind of stat line to have when you're on a team that is only 4th in the league. When you're in that kind of top 4, top 5 area of kills per game, that means you're doing your slaying job very well, and Xer there will pick up a kill before he goes down.
I suppose the slight negative there is that he is forced to come back and he does go down, so while all this is going off, you're going to be seeing Fragger just taking control alongside Punisher and P2, which gives him the advantage to push forward. Batchford unfortunately comes steaming out, but will find the blunt end of a grenade straight out of Fragger's pocket. Solar will move in. Shady try and puts him down, which does in fact happen. Xer goes one-on-one, picks up a crucial double kill to at least clear 2 of them out of the base. Finally, SLG will end his life. One-on-one battle. And that's going to be Batchford who seals that one out. So the base is clear, Harry. They can now push out. But I tell you what, it's just wave after wave of Supremacy members at the moment.
Something cool we kind of see there, though, from the exceL squad, and there's a stat line to reflect this as well, is how well they actually defend their own flag. We saw there a really nice defensive stance from them, actually propelling and pushing away some of the Supremacy players trying to push into the base. We've seen in weeks previous where Supremacy have gone up against the likes of Invictus and even Infused in the previous weeks. They're so good at pushing in waves, and honestly, it's very hard for exceL to try and combat that because Supremacy do that so well and so very aggressively. The stat line to back up their very impressive flag standoff and flag stance kind of statistic is the fact that 3 out of the 4 of them are actually in the top 5 for flag defenses per game. A bit of a curse of the castle at the moment, so I can't find a POV who wants to stay alive more than a couple of seconds. But yeah, exceL, something they're doing very well is turtling back into their own base and kind of absorbing the pressure from the other team.
Nice kill coming out of Warlord. Will stop the flag run at least. Shady's there to try and get the recall, but unfortunately we'll see Fragger just crouching down. He'll burn the camo at least, so that will stop exceL from making use of that one. SLG unfortunately will be falling on his spawn. Warlord's going to jump up, but he will meet a very angry Punisher and also a second player in the form of Fragger coming out of the bubble spawn. SLG trapped between a rock and a hard place. Grenades are going down, and he's just jumping up into oblivion. Gets the kill, though. Warlord staying alive. Another grenade goes down. If he gets his kill, it'll be huge. Gets the stick from the grave. No one's there to make anything happen, but at least takes one with him, Harry.
Yeah, that extra kill, though, from Warlord means exceL can actually push up very aggressively now. You see 2 players actually flanking the basement. Even if Xer doesn't get this kill right here, he's going to have backup, and Xer's already blocking these basement spawns as well. Luckily for Supremacy, SLG is already here, but you can see that 1 extra kill from Warlord just allowed them to have so much extra pressure on the Supremacy base, and this really should be a flag capture, all from that extra stick there from Warlord. Very nice play from him, and that's going to be 1-0 to exceL. They draw first blood.
Ground pound down. Batchford takes it home. 1-0 as Harry mentioned. In the kill feed, though, 1, 2, 3 bodies of exceL. They all hit the tarmac. SLG's running in, and I love the position from Batchford. Don't get me wrong, fair enough, he's died, but potentially he may have just given his teammates a little bit more time, Harry, to come off the respawn and possibly get the flag back, which it looks like it could be happening. If Shady stays alive, which he doesn't, all of a sudden we just see Supremacy flood all over the flag. They're going for it. He's got to play. It doesn't matter if he dies. Look at the teamwork. Passes it to his teammate. Here's the hot potato. We're all tied up, 1 apiece.
Yeah, Batchford there trying to stay alive in his own flag, and that's kind of what's been happening with exceL all season long, is just their flag defensive positions that they take when the enemy's trying to push into their base, try and steal that objective piece. They do very well of just backing up, absorbing a little bit of pressure, but Supremacy are kind of wise to it that time round. They take him out and then get the slaves to go with it as well. Solar here is playing a little bit slow for my liking. Would almost like to see him push up a little bit quicker than this. I mean, he's almost inviting pressure from the exceL squad. Fair enough, they don't have numbers at the moment, but again, all while Solar's not been doing much right here, his teammates have been going down, and if he dies right here, that's pretty much a wasted life right there from Solar. Luckily, his teammates are getting the kills, and Warlord is the last alive. SLG luckily does know this as well, but yeah, Solar, they're playing a little bit too slow, maybe a little bit hesitant right here. I want to see what he does off the respawn.
Well, it looks like he's going on aggressive stance, complete night and day scenario to what he was doing previous, just hanging back for a second, but no messing around, goes steamboating into the red base, but unfortunately, he does, I believe, that's going to be Warlord who spawned behind him. So a little bit unfortunate there for Solar. SLG realizes that they are going down in numbers and they need to stay alive. Backing off for a second, will keep his shield. That's absolutely fine, but he needs to be careful. This guy over in bubble, and then the one below. 2-on-2, working together there in a pair. They took out one player. No grenades, though, to actually kind of pre-grenade on the floor and hope for one player dropping down. And all of a sudden, two players, they just crush him. Down he goes. Base is clear. In fact, no, the base isn't clear. Solar's actually come back alive straight off the respawn. Dove into the base once again. One-on-one fight. Double kill as well. That's pretty huge. He's going straight in. No messing around. Punisher's there. Double. All four dead. And now we can run this across the map, Harry. What an absolute stunner of a play.
All the props right there go to SLG. Solar might get the kills, he might get the flag run and the capture, but if it wasn't for SLG right there, there is no way that play is made. SLG actually the third highest player in the league in terms of damage dealt. I love watching him on this game type, and that's a perfect example why. Fair enough, he did go down and didn't get any kills for it, but the amount of damage he put down allowed Solar to pick up 2 in a row and then was in a prime position around his teammate Slays to start running that flag. So massive props to this man. As I said before, third highest damage dealer in the league. Let's see how he plays. He really just shoots anything he sees on this map. Fair enough, not connecting with a few of these shots at the moment, but watching SLG on this map really is an absolute treat, purely because of the amount of damage he puts down. Look at those cross-map shots right there, all connecting.
Oh, that's going to be a grenade, and he's forced to jump up in air, which will seal the deal on his life. Puts him back in the respawn screen, and as you kind of mentioned, Harry, 2-1 now here on map number 1. The pressure reapplied to exceL. Punisher with a double. That's Solar as well, so that's 3 members down. Warlord, last man standing. Batchford actually gets taken down straight off the respawn. So that's pretty much 5 kills in a row here for Supremacy. Warlord's trying to make a beeline across the map, try and relieve some of the pressure that's been applied. Stack says, not today, my friend. Hits the 5, takes him down. Batchford's also going to be heavily tagged up. SLG can probably get this easy kill, cleans him up, doesn't even touch the flag. 3-1 will be the score. And that, my friends, is how you play Truth CTF.
Wow.
What a game.
How Batchford was taken down right there. I thought for sure he was going to get the touch, at least to give his team a little bit of time, but wow, he was melted so quickly that he didn't even get a chance to make that play. 16 and 10 out of both Solar and SLG. SLG with 14 assists to back that one up as well. But check out the 19 assists actually from Punisher. We barely saw his point of view at all during that game, but
you certainly saw him in the kill feed, and I tell you what, look at the assists.
Yeah.
That's insane. Fair enough, and just to expand on what you say, even though we don't see much of his POV, highest damage done, highest assists, just sitting there, tanking people across the map, supporting his players, and we got to go back to that play from Solar, though. That was insane. To pick up 2 when you're pretty much low shields like that, and then kind of expand on Solar. You mentioned it yourself over SLG, and then you're looking at Punisher with all these assists, playing around those players, and then being able to run into them and just be given the support that you needed. That teamwork was on point.
Very impressive from what I saw from all of the Supremacy players that game, actually. I mean, we saw Fragger towards the end of the game where Batchford finally took him down. Him hitting that perfect on the player, I think it was Warlord trying to overextend, was very important that he did so, because if Warlord wins that fight, he has Batchford backing him up, and then all of a sudden you really fancy Warlord to grab that flag and then give the rest of the exceL spawners a bit more time to make that play and try and make that return happen. So yeah, very impressive with what I saw out of all of the Supremacy players that game, honestly. Going into Plaza Slayer, that's going to give them a lot of hope because they've not actually played this game type in the league yet, and exceL have, and they have 100% win rate on it. However, that is just the 1 win, 1-0. I believe they took this off of Vexed in that Game 7 in the Game 7 series that we saw. I believe it was around Game 5. So exceL, they have played this in the Pro League, so they're going to be quite well versed on how to play this, and they took this off of Vexed, who are actually above both of these teams in the league at the moment. So if you're a betting man, you definitely fancy exceL, but after what we saw from Supremacy in Game 1, their teamwork definitely on point. The chemistry is there. All players certainly seem to be firing, which in weeks past hasn't really been the case for Supremacy, right? We've seen some games in the past, particularly on game types like Rig Strongholds against big teams like Invictus. 1 or 2 players really aren't just hanging in there with the stats with the rest of the team. So we haven't seen that so far in this series. Fair enough, we're only 1 game into it. Let's see if they can continue their consistency here in game number 2.
Same POV to kick things off with, unfortunately not as good before. He gets completely melted off the spawn. SLG with the sniper looking for the no-scope, hits the body. His teammate there, Punisher, will at least help him out. And straight away, I mean, how many seconds are into this game? And look, everyone on exceL's already died once, Aaron.
Shady has to make that kill happen right there. I don't know how he doesn't make that happen. Maybe he had to reload. I didn't really get to see the entire picture right there, but when this man has a sniper, he said it in the past, teams are starting to target him when he has this weapon. They know they have to shut him down. If you let him grab this weapon, fair enough, he's not hitting every shot at the moment, but it's not going to take long for him to get warm in this series. So, yeah, I think Shady has to make that kill right there.
Oh, Batchford did try and poke out, hoping that SLG was a little bit weaker. But look at the rotation, Harry. He's moved away from having no support whatsoever. Now he's got the angle on top mid. He can call that player out. He gets tanked as well. And that is a perfect rotation. No help or no support whatsoever. And now he's got all the room to play with. He's got the tool in the back pocket, which of course is the sniper rifle. Zer's going to fall as well. 6 to 10. Fair enough, it's still a 4. Actually, they're bringing it back now. They make it 3, in fact. So they're bringing it back slowly but surely. But SLG is just like a magnet to this weapon. How? Oh, and a magnet to his head as well. Batchford, take a seat, son.
Zer's positioning there was so key. I swapped him because he had that new combo. He knew he had to take SLG down, and he did so very well. But guess who's got the weapon once again? And like you said, he's a magnet to players' heads. If I'm exceL right now, this is where they need to be very conservative with their deaths. They can't be peeking SLG. They can't let them get into a lead coming up to this next overshield. So they need to get away from blue. They kind of need to get away from angles that SLG is scoping out. But if they do that, they kind of fall into the trap of the other Supremacy players. We see a player there on top gold kind of rotating to this light rifle. It's very important for exceL to push round to Tram right here. SLG with another headshot. He's actually pressuring the Tram. I really like this play.
No fear.
2 kills in a row, and this is so important because the overshield's coming up. While SLG's getting all these kills, his team are in a position to grab the overshield. So SLG with just fantastic map awareness right there, but Supremacy still don't get the overshield. How the hell does that happen?
What? That's insane. He has no shield, and he gets the no-scope beatdown on the player.
But it's all good and well doing all that work, but they didn't get the overshield, which is why SLG was pressuring that position. That's a really bad misplay, in my opinion, from Supremacy. Great play from SLG, but his teammates nowhere to be seen. They really should have grabbed that overshield. Well, SLG essentially was distracting 3 of them. The last guy grabs the overshield in Zer, and now look, they have map control, and they have only a 4-kill deficit, make it a 3-kill deficit to play with now.
So we're back to where we were at the start, and as kind of Harry mentioned, flashy plays, they got them 3 kills, but necessarily haven't paid off in the grand scheme of things. That OS going in the hands of exceL has brought them right back in this one to 1 point. Zer's getting tanked up from behind. He needs some support, which he does have now. 2 players. Oh, he actually gets paid. Doesn't hit him in the face first time round. Batchford this time with the sniper rifle, trying to get an angle over in gold yard there. Grenades will come in, which will at least force him back. He's trying to get away. SLG and SLR, 2 kills come out of Supremacy down in the kill feed, and well, talk about the magnet. It's back in play.
And I love this rotation back as well. He must have known that all the players are spawning at snipe lift, and to go back to Tram, even though you've just pushed out of driveway, it's such a gutsy call to make from SLG, but he certainly made it, and it was the right decision to make too. Now, I wonder whether or not he might kind of give up on this angle very soon and try and rotate around to driveway and feel the pressure. So he's going to check bottom middle right here, and I absolutely love that. Just making sure there's no players pushing from that area so his team know that, hey, if they want to go on a flank right here to try and push out, it's very, very available for them to do so. Now, we're going to see SLG here try and either pressure blue or move back to Tram, and that's because the overshield is coming up. Don't forget, it was Zer who grabbed the last one from exceL, so they're going to know the exact timing on it, but it looks like the Supremacy boys are starting to make a push for it, and this is much better out of them now. They're pressuring this a little bit early, and looks like Solar's going to be in a position to grab it.
Oh, as soon as you say that, though, Shady says, not today, my friend. He's going to make a play for this one. Can he grab it? No, he's jumped off, but Warlord's there to at least scoop it up. Doesn't go down, so now they have the fresh OS in play. Looking around, he's got to find some players, though. You don't want to waste this one. If he goes in here, he's going to get annihilated by 2. One of them's up on top gold as well. They're going to shoot him up. One comes lying around the corner. I believe that's going to be Solar. And look at this, Harry. They're just picking at him. They're just... And he's dead!
What do you do?
Get wrecked!
What do you do if you're Warlord there? I mean, you've got a player above you shooting you, and if you look away, he's going to keep shooting you. You've got a player behind you, so if you turn for that guy, the guy at top nest is, the top gold is going to keep shooting you. It's kind of between a rock and a hard place right there. There's nothing really Warlord could have done apart from invent a time machine and not make that play.
That play, Harry, is there literally no way of getting... I mean, would you have run away, or is it just tough luck and a good play by Supremacy to pincer him?
It's a good play from Supremacy. I mean, when you're getting hounded by so many players like that, I mean, it is... there's no way, there was no escape route for him. I mean, like I said, the only thing he could have done is kind of turn back time as Fragger comes in with another perfect, and that could actually get the sniper back into the hands of Supremacy, and it's actually back with SLG as well. So good perfect there from Fragger, but we can't switch off this man's screen while he has this weapon. The things we've seen him do in the past are nothing short of miraculous.
Still, we might have to note, only a 2-kill game. Fair enough, make that 3 as Fragger proves me wrong and sticks another one on the board. Now he knows where 2 players are. He's just copped wind of one, Harry. 2 players will aggressively push in, gets the no-scope, tags him up as well. Shady needs to make this kill happen and can't let him stay alive. He's got eyes on Batchford, doesn't get the kill, it doesn't actually connect. Finally, they take him down, but the damage has been done. Shady's all alone again. He's trying to get the reload up here. Past 5 kills in a row for Supremacy.
Yeah, I wanted to swap over to SLG because he might have just gotten a favorable spawn over at Snipe, but it's actually exeL to grab that one. I was very surprised that we actually saw exeL rotate round into Yard right there, because they've been having such success grabbing the overshield from that blue side. So, yeah, I'm kind of interested to see why they made that rotation. And now Supremacy have a 4-point lead. The overshield is coming up, but exeL getting 2 slays in a row. But forgot about the overshield. That's going to be Punisher to grab that from the Supremacy side. So as long as xer can find his face with this weapon, in fact, he's going to rotate away. And I think that's probably the smart play. You don't want to be fighting against an overshield guy with a sniper rifle.
I think he's read the play, though. Yeah, he has, unfortunately. But he does at least get a trade-off. Shady's getting hard targeted, though. Punched into a corner, and once again, sniper rifle, unfortunately for exeL, in the hands of Supremacy. And look at the coat he's wearing. He's got the OS as well, and he's got plenty of it. Now, I mean, necessarily, you've obviously got the OS, Harry. You don't want to see Punisher now trying to hang back with Sniper, surely. Surely it's get stuck in and be aggressive.
I mean, he doesn't have that much overshield left. I mean, he did have around half shields when you asked that question. So, like, a half overshield, I mean, yeah, it's enough to win you a fight, but it's not enough to make a really big power play. So I wouldn't be, you know, I wouldn't have been too mad if I was his teammates if he just kind of backed off and sniped. Obviously, you don't want the overshield with the sniper because you want to free up that overshield player, but look at Punisher here, sensing the pressure from the exeL players, keeping this sniper out of their possession. Look at this movement. It's so good, and he's definitely getting communication from his team that, hey, Yard is clear, let's get over the tram and just use that sniper from a distance and pick off kills, inch closer to this 50-point winning mark.
What a rotation.
Oh, yeah.
Just fantastic teamwork all around and great, you know, the communication with these, and it's one thing that we have kind of said, because they've been together so long, they know how each other plays, they know where to go, they know what to do, and I honestly believe, and we've heard, I mean, fair enough, I don't understand French, but we've heard in the communication, team captain Norwin being the leader, being the commanding voice down the microphone, and we've seen them do some amazing stuff. They did it back at the Wembley qualifiers, and they took out what was Infused at the time. It's a very strong team, but still, it's super close.
Yeah, overshield coming up soon here, and it was. Let's get Supremacy to grab the last one. I'm wondering where that overshield actually is. It's up at the moment, and looks like this is actually going to be Punisher who's in the closest vicinity, but it's actually Warlord to grab it. So Warlord and exeL steal this overshield away. That's very impressive from them, and Supremacy were a little bit slow on that. They had the slays to go with it, and very surprised they didn't get into a bit more of an advanced position. That overshield's a non-factor now, completely burnt off of Warlord's shields, but now exeL, they're right back in this game. They're only down by 1.
44 to 45, 3 minutes remaining on the clock. Every single kill counts. Unfortunately, it's going to be Supremacy who draw blood. As I say that one, this could be number 2 as well. Warlord says, not today, my friend. Quick draw comes out, puts a bullet between his skull, cracks it. There's another player there with no shield, goes for the stairs, doesn't quite finish it off. Fresh sniper rifle is up. No doubt all players will be looking at that. Unfortunately, though, it's going to be Romain, a.k.a. Punisher, who's got eyes on the prize. Solo's going to try and get it. Gets out. Dodge, though. You can kind of see him there. Must be tagged up with that grenade, half shield. They are flashing away. We're going to turn the player outlines off. Oh, as you say that, look at them. Like a pack of wolves, Harry, straight into gold. But they may have just fed the bear, unfortunately. Fragger's coming round the corner. Turns around at the wrong time, though.
Timing.
And there you have it. Supremacy take game number 2. Team Slayer on Plaza, 50 to 47. Close, all the way. All the way. I mean, is there any certain point that you can say sniper rifle changed that?
There was a few. One in particular we didn't actually quite catch on the broadcast, I don't think. There was one part where SLG made that double happen. Shady from exeL was down in the driveway, and you could hear he was kind of, or you could see, excuse me, he was kind of slow to react to some of the calls. I mean, you could kind of tell that, and that's the language barrier really coming into play there from exceL, because he was just kind of sat on driveway. We could see on the player outlines, I think he must have been fighting someone, or either way, he wasn't giving SLG his full attention, and SLG was allowed to kill another one of his team members. And if you take SLG out right there, it's a different game. But both teams very sloppy on their overshield fights, in my opinion. There was 2 different times in the game where one team had control of the map and then the other team took the overshield away. So yeah, both teams need work on this game type almost definitely. But looking at the stats, Punisher +7 in Plaza Slayer Game 2. Very nice stat line from him. Definitely the standout performer. I mean, next nearest is a +1 from SLG, but damn, Punny, look at you turning up.
You know what's quite scary for exceL is that this is the Punny of who we see on stage. This is the Punisher that helps win events. This is the one that's been to World, that's been down there on the floor, that's been at the very top. And when you can mention this a few times, when him and Fragger really begin to turn up, because we know that Solar and SLG, they are consistent.
Yep.
Sometimes we get the odd negative from them both, but then again, hell, who doesn't in the game? But with Punisher and Fragger, when those two begin to really heat up, it's a scary team.
So Punisher was definitely the standout performer, but SLG, I said he was actually 3rd highest damage dealt in the league, had 200 more damage than the next nearest. He actually led the game with 2,600, despite not having the most kills in the game. So very nice stuff. In fact, he was tied with the most kills with both Zer and Punisher in that game. So SLG, again, just kind of continuing his playstyle from previous maps and previous series in the Pro League. And that's going to help them out here on Eden as well, because if you're putting damage down like SLG does, this map's going to be very easy for your teammates, because every player that's weak is not going to want to make a rotation that they might have made if they were full shields. They can be very hesitant with their movement, and if you make the other team hesitate here on Eden, it can really push them away from these power-ups that you're seeing on screen, push them away from those rockets and start giving their teammates unfavorable spawns. And that's really what you want to do here on Eden Strongholds. Those rockets coming up every 2 minutes and the overshield in the pit just afterwards are game changers. Make sure you get every single one of those and you're more than likely going to win this game.
So, let's kick it off then. Warlord's POV. We'll pause for a second. The grenades come down, the initial ones that we always see. It's going to be, unfortunately, Fragger who will fall, so the OS will be burnt. Shady with that first kill, Shady with the second kill as well. Finally he gets eliminated by Solar. Warlord allowed freely, I want to say, to grab those rockets. In fact, he's getting pincered by 2. There's one. Same scenarios before, when he had the OS. 2 players just side to side collapsing. Warlord allowed to do absolutely nothing with a power weapon.
Yeah, and Fragger there taking out Batchford is just really big for his team as well, because that's another +1. That perfect right there was very big, but I like the way Punisher actually burned the overshield off the start of the game, because that allowed him that red spawn behind Warlord when he had those rockets. Warlord was not expecting the red spawn that early, and when you're red team at the start of Eden, you're more than likely going to be grabbing that overshield off the start. You have the more favorable spawn, and you really should be grabbing that power-up. So this is a dream start here for Supremacy. They burnt the overshield, took it out of the hands of red team. They have the rockets, which could prove pivotal in that particular situation. Zer here is going to be very important to the outcome of this series of events. If he can make this kill happen right here, it would be big for his team, and he does. Bashford chimed in with the slay right there too, so we're kind of going to see a bit of a shift in the Supremacy of the map at the moment. But speaking of Supremacy, they still have control of the rockets, and they're still scoring 22-1. Around 30 seconds till the next wave of power-ups and power weapons, so exceL, they have a job to do to try and get a bit more map control in that time and get a bit more of turbine control and try and stay away from tower wherever you can. If you see them spawning tower right here, the best they're going to do is going to grab the camouflage. Luckily for them, though, they grab the red spawn and can get red nest. But that rocket from Punny, oh my days.
I knew what was going to happen.
That was great.
Banks it off the wall. He knew exactly that one player was going to check his corner. Pokes up. Unfortunately, Duck Hunt becomes a reality as he just gets blown off the map.
So that red spawn from exceL, very, very favorable for them, because you can see now Batchford has the rockets. Warlord even has the old set of rockets too, and Overshield is here for the taking too. So now we can see this game really swing in exceL's favor. Now they have this rocket launcher in Batchford. They have the Overshield as well. This is where we'll start to see the scoreline swing. As long as exceL can finish their kills, work together as a team, they can really get back in this game. And a 2-for-1 there from Batch. That should be 3 in a row, but he chokes. Shame.
I love it how he just cut it off there.
Yeah.
Quite nice here. Well, this player at least going to come around and challenge him again. Thrust to the left. Will get out of the way for just a second, but he will fall. Now checking his corners, making sure no one's there. Just taking a look, as you can see, playing the numbers game before, he realised 2 were down, did push, but unfortunately they all spawn on top of him in blue. He's heading towards Blue Bend, and unfortunately just gets a face full of lead. And, you know, this is going to be a rough one. We I never touched on it before, Harry, but we do know the French are well known for loving a good old strongholds battle.
Yeah, but what we've just seen Silent do on the screen was so sneaky, so cheeky to get the max mag. Complete trigger discipline there on Warlord and just takes him by surprise. But you're right, the French are very good at this game type, but at the moment it's exceL. Thanks to that kind of rocket overshield play, we say every 2 minutes those things come up and they can really swing the momentum of the game. They're getting back into this game thanks to that kind of one swing or couple of swing plays actually. First of all, grabbing the rocket launcher and overshield, but then the double, should have been a triple from Batchford, has really allowed them back into the game. And now they're getting the Slays to go behind it, 3 down from Supremacy, and they're going to maintain scoring as well. The next kind of objective for exceL right here, make sure you don't lose this turbine fight. Make sure you're in a position to contest that. I like the way they're going for Blue Bend right here. Just give up Catwalk because the rockets are coming up soon, and you need to make sure you secure that. This is a big fight here. Oh my word, he actually gets the reset. SLG, take a bow. Not only does he make that clutch stop happen, they now have total control, and he has turbine control too. All he needs to do right here is scream for his teammates to come and help him out, and he's still alive. I can't. I can't.
This is insane. SLGG playing an absolute game of his life. In fact, series of his life so far. He's been doing a sterling job. Double beat down, not a single rocket on the OS guy. What a joke. That's
yeah,
really bad.
Yes.
You needed to connect that one because
bad.
now they are allowed to run freely with the OS, with the rockets, and I really think that's going to put the nail in the coffin on this one.
Yep.
That's poor.
Why don't you just shoot the guy with the rocket right there? When he's point blank in front of you, you know he's got the overshield. There's no way you're surviving that situation. You need to take one for the team and take that player out the game. Maybe he saw something different on his screen. I'm not sure, but all of them really should be connecting that point blank rocket, and that's honestly going to be game. I mean, look at the score: 95-30, total control for Supremacy.
Wow.
Wow. That's
made it look easy.
That's a big mistake from Warlord, and he's getting teabagged now because of it. I'm not surprised. He's literally like here with overshield. And you've got a rocket launcher, and he's like,
Mr. Halo 5 Pro,
I don't know.
Calm down.
I don't know. I'm not going to take the shot.
Hey,
take the shot, man.
Anything can happen.
Take the shot.
As you mentioned, it should have been, even if you got it at his feet, you could have at least taken off some of that OS, and hopefully some of your teammates came in.
You've got to do something. Have to.
Let's take a look at the kills then. So was it an outslane? I don't think it was a massive outslane, to be honest. What's that, 37 in total? Boy, I'm bad at math.
Yeah, it's 37.
37?
Yeah.
I am. Oh, I'm questioning myself.
I was waiting for you to completely.
I was hoping you're going to step in there and save me, but, you know, just throw me under a bus, why don't you?
Yeah, that's what I do best. But
you know what, you talk about your stats. Let's leave the maths out of this one.
It was better slaying performance from Supremacy, definitely, but it's just small, minor misplays from exceL once again. I mean, just not identifying the overshield and rocket control. Supremacy outplayed them for a couple, fair enough, but there were some really big mistakes in that game that cost exceL that W. I mean, we saw the way they got their 30 points in the game, right, was when Batchford got the overshield and rocket combo. They made plays and contested them every single time, but it looked like Supremacy just had the better of them. And Warlord, we can't keep, you know, hating on him from that play, right? It's unfair to do so. But
doing a good job of it.
When he picked up the rockets, first of all, you could see he was kind of hesitant as well. As soon as you grab those rockets, fair enough, he sensed a bit of pressure from Blue, I think, but he was like looking at Blue, and then he was like, oh god, it's overshield. Right, yeah, no, we got to go this way. It's like, you got to rotate over there immediately, and Fragger was already there, picks up the overshield, and then he just, you know...
The thing is that you can't get mistakes on,
fright.
You know, strongholds, because it's Supremacy. The amount of times we've seen them, and we always kind of say it, that it seem to love a good strongholds. It's really bizarre. It's one of the best game types, isn't it? It's mad.
Yeah,
it's incredible. We've seen them do, remember the old 99 comeback on Infused before? They've done some big damage on these maps, and you've got to be careful. If you go up against Supremacy on strongholds, you just got to shut these boys down as quickly as possible. But enough about me chattering on. Game number 4. Potentially the last map of this series is about to go live. And Harry,
first time we've seen Fathom in the Pro League!
You ready? Get your camera ready?
Mm-hmm. cracking open a cold one on Fathom. Get ready for a replay, boys. I mean, no.
Cracking open a cold one on Fathom.
Yeah.
That is the worst thing I've ever heard you say.
You're the one who said cracking up, whatever.
With the boys in the studio. Come on.
On Fathom. What a game type. First time we're seeing it all Pro League season, and guess what? We're guaranteed to see it twice more after this game in this broadcast. So that's very exciting times. Railgun bottom middle, Camo top middle. Seems to grab that thing. You want to try and transition down low, be a bit more sneaky, but let's see if both these teams kind of know how to play this game type. Obviously, we have no Pro League data to go on because this is the first time it's being played this season. But both these teams actually hold an even 2-2 record on capture the flag games. In fact, it would be 3-2 for Supremacy and 2-3 now after that game 1 win for Supremacy. So if you're a betting man and you like to listen to statistics, which not a lot of people do, I do. Oh, thanks. It's going to be Supremacy, who more than likely will come out with a win. But Warlord's trying to make his amends for the bit of a blunder in the last game, and he's doing very well right now, being a real pressurous character, and that's going to allow Shady to come in and grab this flag and start moving it. And one of the kind of different flag runs, you can take it out of the gen. You really have to have confidence in your team, otherwise you can see right there, players are just going to spawn on that gen behind you, and that's going to be an easy return. So yeah, you've got to make sure your team are set up for that kind of silo run when you're running it towards the enemy silo. And Punisher here thinks he's Jimbo making all these fancy jumps, but he missed that one. And
a pressurous player. Yeah. Is that a monumentous word?
That's a monumentous word.
Is that a wonder word?
I was hoping no one would
I've
pick
definitely,
up on that.
you know, you call me out on everything, so I'm going to call you on that one.
It's fine.
A pressurous player, right? That's going to the NA Pro League. Remember, T2, Elamite, pressurous players.
Pressurous.
You heard it right here on the EU Pro League.
It's like precious, but pressurous.
Flag goes down. SLG with a railgun will opt to get a move on with it, and he's going to get tanked up pretty hard. He will fall Warlord with the double as well, Harry. So you mentioned before about making him. That's a triple kill from Warlord, looking for the over. It's top. He will, in fact, potentially just got it.
Not too sure. We'll see after the game, but
that could have been an over.
It could have been.
And it could be a return.
It's definitely a return. It's definitely 1-0 to exceL. Not sure about the overkill, though. The medal didn't pop up when we swapped to him, but we'll check after the game. Either way, we were speaking about Warlord. He was picking up slays in bundles right there, and that's really helped his team out, and now they're up 1-0 in this game that they absolutely have to win. They have to win every single game left in the series if they want to book their ticket to DreamHack Atlanta.
Solo's going to go steaming out of the window. Batchford's there to at least try and get some cover fire and try and get a retrieval on this one. Grenades go down. Shady's actually going to walk into his teammate's grenade. Don't want to be that. Batchford will opt to get the return, which allows his teammates to push out, but they need to be careful. They've got one top mid, they've got one running through the garage as well, so they are getting flooded quite heavily. They need to really get a rein on these guys and call out where they are. I like the pressure coming from Warlord, though. He's at least going to stop and clear out Batchford's right-hand side, jumps up through the window, easy clean up there for him. And now he can make his way into enemy territory. Beatdown goes down. Misses the second one, but Fragger does not. He will fall.
What's with the voice, man?
No. He feels. You know what? It's Good Mood Wednesday today.
Yeah.
We're doing a back-to-back stream, brother. And we're going to send 4 teams to Atlanta. It's Good Mood Wednesday.
Yeah, we're building bunk beds tonight, too.
Yeah?
Cheeky takeaway in NA Pro League.
We've already eaten tonight.
Yeah, I know, but I'm still hungry.
I'm not like stone wet through. How can you
It's a lie. I'm not hungry. I'm full up from that delicious food we ate earlier. Yeah,
Speaking of eating,
they feed us.
I think it's going to be exceL eating a second flag. Look at this. There's Warlord. That was a bad pun. That was the worst thing I've ever said in my entire career. I have no idea. 2-0. Hey!
Eating flags.
Eating flags.
Guess they were hungry.
Finally falls. Let's get back on track here.
I can't even look at you.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Terrible puns 24/7. SLG taking control of top mid. They are 2-0 down. 8:30 remaining on the clock. The pressure really been applied to Supremacy, but they're getting the flag on the move. However, they've actually still, I believe, got enemies on their side of the map. SLG doesn't pinpoint the guy over by the silo. He's going to run into VAT. That's going to be Warlord just playing Ring Around the Roses this time round. TacMag comes into play. He gets wiped out. Another player's going to try and throw this one out into the courtyard. Someone's there for the return, and SLG is there for the capture. 2-1 in less than a minute, Harry. A minute ago it was 2-0. Let's see if they can bring this back and tie it up to 2-2.
Yeah, and this can really snowball here, actually, for Supremacy. They got those slays and that flag capture right as that railgun's coming up. And you can see SLG, that's what he wants to make a beeline here for, and he's actually going to escape with it too. So that came at a very fortuitous time, and that is a word. I know you looked at me straight away. Do read a dictionary every now and then, okay? Fortuitous.
I can't read.
SLG Picks up a railgun kill on Shady too, and now he's transitioning to top middle. That's because his camouflage is coming up. Wonder if Supremacy actually have an accurate timing on it.
Oh,
Bit of stage fright right there from SLG, but he'll make the kill happen in the end. And I'm looking for that camouflage. Can't quite see it in play at the moment, so it must have been burnt from both teams.
Two players then going down bottom middle, met that one as the other player does jump to the top. Batchford's going to try and clean him out. However, Solar knows exactly where he's going to be. Fives him in the face. We will see Zer at least answer back to take control of top mid, but he needs to be aware of this player running up through the treehouse. Start goes 1-on-1, and he will fall. That's going to be Fragger, SLG in the kill feed onto Shady. French on French action. Batchford with the railgun. And now, this is a good position to be in with this gun, right? You can really do some damage, really put some hurt onto Supremacy, and potentially run this third and final flag. But Supremacy do have other ideas, Harry. They're coming off the respawn. And at the moment, he's in no man's land. He does have some help and support here, at least from Warlord to his right-hand side. One goes down, and I like the aggressive push. Just get stuck in. There's a double, potentially a triple. Is he going to challenge it? Yes, he is.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, though, but it's going to allow Warlord actually to run this final flag. It's definitely done its job. It made that player weak. That's all Batchford had to do. And there we go. Warlord puts in the flag. 3-1. So exceL.
Better game for Warlord.
Fortuitous.
Should we see if we got the over? If you missed it,
you're
a bad observer.
Hey, when you see a guy get 3 kills, you expect him to be weak. Okay, it's not my fault. Supremacy. Yeah, he got it.
You're a bad observer. You are a bad. I called that out. You are a bad observer.
Listen, if eSL wanted to hire full-time observers, then maybe I would have seen it. But have you tried commentating and using this controller at the same time? Do you want to do it next game?
No.
No, didn't think so.
Because
over a kill for Warlord. Shut up. We're moving on. 18 and 8
Look at the kills.
Him. Much better game. Must have heard us on the broadcast ripping into him after that previous game. 12 and 11 out of batch. Outside of that, not really nothing to shout about. I want to check out the damage dealt. Yeah, Warlord, head and shoulders above the rest. So, overkill Lord. Nice. Good job.
I like it how you actually said nice to your own word.
Yeah.
You need to stop making these words up.
No, I was saying nice to Warlord for getting an overkill.
He can't hear you.
Well, he can, because he played bad in last game, and he played good in that game because I called him bad.
Look at that KD here. 12.0 with a 63.4 accuracy. 2.2 cage damage done. And that is Warlord being a bit of a mean machine. Big question is, can he do it 2 games in a row? It's taking him a little bit of time to warm up, but for exceL, it's like, it's do or die. You've literally got to pull the reverse sweep.
Well,
no more mistakes.
The game types left in the series, if you're going off Pro League data, actually favour them. Because next game is Slayer on Colosseum, which, by the way, first time we're seeing this in the Pro League this season as well.
Hey.
Good job, teams.
Carry on.
And neither teams have played that. exceL actually have a better Slayer record in the Pro League, although not sure. In fact, I think they're probably tied now after that Plaza Slayer win. But after that is Strongholds on the Brig, where exceL actually are undefeated in the Pro League on that game type. So, something to watch out for going forward. If they can take this one, then Strongholds on the Brig, definitely a favourable game type here for exceL.
That weapon on your screen right now, not that one, the one before, sniper rifle. If you are exceL, Harry, are you kind of mentioning what SLG said before? Is it, do not let that man get that weapon, shut him down at every single opportunity?
Well, as soon as you see him in the kill feed, if you're the other team, you're calling him out and saying, SLG has snipe. It's not just, oh, one of their guys have snipe. It's SLG has snipe. Keep your head in, man. Just, you know, don't peek.
Don't get me wrong, it's not obviously a one-man army kind of game. It is all about the teamwork, but he really does have the ability to completely change a game with that weapon.
Oh my Fragger, that's disgusting, and that's going to allow his team actually to grab the tower control. Not surprised he beat down the floor right there. That's a huge play, because now his team have tower control. They can fight for these rockets.
Oh, don't do it.
Honestly,
like
this is all from Fragger. Fair enough, he goes down, but SLG has snipe. His team now have rockets as well. That was a big swing point.
Morning. Hi, Zer. How you doing? See you later, buddy. Checks the dead body, and now he's just waiting for them to come off the spawn. Shady is the last man standing. They're all split up a little bit, but that doesn't matter. Turns around and just magnetizes, snap to his head. See you later, Warlord. Shady's down below. That's going to be Zer. Misses the no-scope. Will he jump back if he gets... Stop it! Please kill him now, because he's doing his thing. This is incredible. This man is just an absolute beast. One of the best players in Europe. And fair enough, we're already starting to kind of shout him out early, but he's just too damn good with this weapon.
He is, and this is what we were talking about. You could see Warlord right there, staying behind the table. SLG is frustrated right now because he knows exceL is calling out SLG has snipe. So he's actually rotating all the way back to try and get a bit of an alternative angle. You can see in the kill feed, those rockets from Solar picking up 2 kills. Don't forget, that's all because Fragger won that kind of battle and winning the reversal double at the sniper tower. So fair enough, it's going to be Solar picking up the kills, and it's great that he's doing so as well, right? Picking up kills for the power weapons is very important to do, especially on Coliseum. Now look at the score because of it, 17-10. But if it wasn't for Fragger, those kills never would have happened because they would have had a much tougher time fighting for the Rockets because they didn't have that tower control. So just thinking about the bigger picture right there, Fragger, a very pivotal player for Supremacy in terms of their lead right now, but the problem for SLG right here is the fact that xer actually has rockets, and you can see right there, he's actually taken down with the no-scope from SLG.
His teammate comes in across map, picks him off as you mentioned. Fantastic kill, and this is where it's time to stop, you know. Let's put a lid on it at the moment because they are really running away with this one, and they're starting now. They've eliminated SLG to bring this one back. 3 kills down. We kind of mentioned it's hard to all talk about one member, but he really does do a lot of damage. You mentioned earlier also about the work that Fragger was doing. Let's see if they can turn this one around. xer's got the rockets, sees one, pauses for a second, misses that rocket, and he will die as well. That's the second rocket we've seen from the same team, Harry, that has done 0 damage.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a different circumstance, honestly, because xer there could have really escaped with his life if he kind of hits the rocket that he's trying to do, whereas Warlord in the previous game, excuse me, the game before that, actually kind of maybe should have just taken the death for the team. So
you're trying to at least trade it off though, wouldn't you?
Oh,
if you
yeah.
knew.
Almost definitely, but him missing that rocket meant he didn't really have enough time to fire the second one, and as a result went down. So can't really be too harsh on that play, but the fact that exceL retained the rockets is actually very big for their chances of winning the game, and Shady actually just picked up 2 in a row, and now look, who are Snipe and his team are only 4 kills down. It's going to be Batchford.
Hanging in the balance, quite literally. 1, 2. Duck hunt time. Batchford picks up 2 in a row, finds 2 faces. Will move in with Warlord. Warlord's going to take the front angle, so at least they'll be spawning in here. Now we'll see.
Oh, no! Benedict! Is that you?
10 seconds to
well, Warlord, you did something. You died.
Wrong.
And your teammate killed you. Mistakes were made.
I mean, he's going off right
he's
here.
Doing well.
He's still alive.
He's kind of pushing
that's
on.
Massive, but yeah, wrong colour, Batchford.
Actually, I don't think it was Batch's fault. Warlord literally stepped in front of his scope.
Yeah,
a little bit unfortunate.
The hero and the villain in this in this game so far, almost definitely.
Oh, 32-30 then. They have taken the lead, even though he did just absolutely put a bullet in the back of his teammate's head. Trying to stay alive here, a little bit unfortunate. Fragger won't miss that one. Batchford will fall. Sniper rifle eliminated from the map. Shady creeping around with the rockets, 2 in the chamber. He's going to try and get these off at least before he dies. He's really in a bad place at the moment because he's out in the open. He's getting tagged up left, right, and center. No kills found off 2 rockets, but again, so much pressure on what can you do. And look at this. It doesn't stop. Pulls an absolute windmill on a player with no shield. Solar. My word, you just got away with your life, buddy, and got an easy kill.
Dude, the rocket plays in this series so far are giving me a bit of a headache, honestly. It's so...
How did Shady not get that kill?
It's so bad. I mean, I can't hate on Shady. I mean, in that particular instance, he probably shouldn't be firing rockets willy-nilly, as our friend Daniel Gaskin would like to say, but... I don't know, man. What is happening with these 2 teams? Do they not know how to use rockets?
There's a lot of pressure on them, bro.
Literally...
You know, you've got to, I suppose we have to appreciate that, how much there's literally tickets, potential tickets at least, to Atlanta on the line here.
Just don't pull the right trigger. I mean, it's not hard to do. I mean, just kind of reel yourself in a little bit. I mean, something we see North American teams do so well is just kind of maintain the power weapon control on this map, and Supremacy... Fair enough, they're in the lead right now, but if exceL, they retain those 2 rockets, that's 2 potentially more kills gained from those 2 rockets. So Shady just reels himself in a little bit there, maybe takes a death for his team, identifies the situation, knows that his team maybe could pick up rockets. Even after he dies, they could be in a more healthy position right now, but as a result, they're down by 5. I don't know, man. If EU wants to compete with North America in the future, those are kind of plays that absolutely cannot happen in our scene. It's inexcusable. It really is.
Unfortunately, it's kind of led us to this moment, and Fragger has just picked up a fresh sniper rifle, Harry, so it's only going to make matters worse. 43-38. Still 5 minutes remaining, but you've got Solo currently with a carbine running round, as you mentioned, willy-nilly. Fragger here with a sniper rifle. Punisher with rockets. That, for me, is GG no re. They have all the toys, all the teamwork, and all the time in the world, baby. It's just counting down the kills. One by one, 4 more to make this happen. 1, 2, 3, all in consecutive concession. There's the 4. Everybody's dead. And look at that.
Is dead. And guess who still has snipe? Fair enough, he's no SLG, but they still have this weapon in their possession, and this is the weapon you want if you're exceL to get yourself back in this game when you're down by 8, but this is Supremacy potentially booking their ticket to DreamHack Atlanta. If they don't choke.
Yeah, we'll just let this one play out at the moment.
You
Warlord at least picks up a kill, so, you know, they've got a rocket. Anything's possible in Halo. We've seen it. Time. Does get the kill. Unfortunately, he's going to get completely dropped upon. He's got called out, and there it is. Supremacy. 4-1 Team exceL. And all but guarantee themselves a spot at DreamHack Atlanta. The French monsters once again. We still got 2 more games tonight, so anything can happen.
Still mathematically possible, I think, for Supremacy to not make it, but it
has to be
very unlikely.
High-end
Basically, divine intervention needs to happen. Fragger 16 and 10. See what I did there, by the way. Divine
I liked it. Yeah, I did pick up on it, but I wasn't going to give you credit for it.
Right, don't worry. +6 from Fragger. Nothing really else standing out for the team. +2 from Solar. But we spoke about the hero and the villain in this series. Warlord 6 and 13. That's no bueno. Not in a Slayer, friend. You can't be doing those kind of stats.
Especially not compared to what he did in the previous round.
No.
That's night and day. It truly is.
Checking out the damage dealt.
Well,
Batchford, most in the game. 2-4-80. Fragger not too far behind him. But yeah, that's it's the tale of the power weapons. Coliseum Slayer, as it always has been, as it always will be. Whoever gets those power weapons will end the game with the win, and you can see there the power weapon kills just quickly before we switch off is going to be Supremacy with the majority of them. And that series, honestly, I was expecting to be a lot closer, but Supremacy definitely outclassing exceL, and you could tell they've been a team for a much longer period of time. Their communication was much more on point. There wasn't those communication barriers that may have been apparent on the exceL side, and eventually they will come out with the win and come that much closer to making the DreamHack Finals.
See, we're pretty much saying they're all but guaranteed, but as Harry mentioned, there are mathematical things that can happen. It will be very hard, as Harry mentioned. Also, the divine intervention, if they have to beat, I believe, it is Invictus, which will be a tough game for them. But again, that's pretty much sealed the deal as far as I'm concerned, and you're just watching some of the players from the earlier games. Incredible stuff. Supremacy just on point. Call-outs, and this kill right here.
Yeah.
This is the one. Look. Hello.
Goodbye.
You know, he's kind of those players where you think that's the sign of someone who puts in a lot of time and effort, because he kind of understood, and you know, he knew exactly where, if a player was going to appear, where he was going to be.
Just terrific game sense.
It's those kind of players that, well, they send you to America, Harry.
Yep, terrific game sense all round. We can see right here, again, a few plays here and there, like the Plaza game where Warlord kind of waltzed into 2 players without knowing. That's really where Supremacy shone in this series. We saw some really nice stuff out of Batchford and the boys on exceL in that Fathom game, but this is what I'm talking about. These are really good rockets from Shady, and later on in the game, he makes 2 really bad rockets happen, and the game was only 5 kills apart, and that's the team kill there from Batchford. He went on a bit of a 6 spree after that, by the way, which we kind of missed, honestly, but it's the tale of the 2 sets of rockets, honestly. I mean, we saw Punisher there get kills with his set of rockets towards the end of the game. If Shady, again, if he stays alive with those rockets, even if he dies, his team are around him to pick up those rockets. As long as you need to make sure you're converting them into kills. If you don't, I can't use the language that I would use, but it's a big mess up. It's a mess up. You have to make sure.
Win games.
Exactly, especially on Coliseum Slayer.
There's no other way to do it.
There is no excuse for not getting kills.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a little bit more, not relaxed, but certainly being